everyone, and welcome to Fort Bend, Montana. And I am here with Dominique Liberon. And Dominique canoed from his home country of Canada all the way to New Orleans 2 years ago to raise awareness for his uncle Mitch. Dominique, welcome to the voyage.
Pleasure to meet you in person.
Thank you for the time. So tell me, Dominique, a little bit about your trip. What precipitated the idea to canoe from Canada to New Orleans?
So my Uncle Mitch was a huge influence on me. He was more like a big brother to me than an uncle. And when he died of a heart attack when he was only 42, I couldn't think of a better place to take his ashes than his favorite city. And he had visited New Orleans in 1992, and that trip changed his life because when he came back to Canada, he started a Cajun radio show, started a Cajun catering company, and shared his love of Cajun culture in Canada. So there was no better place to take his ashes to honor him and to raise awareness about heart disease as well.
So you carried his ashes the entire way from Canada to New Orleans?
That's right. That's right. From start to finish, it took me 8 months. It was just over 3,300 miles, and I had my uncle on board with me the whole time.
Well, it's a good thing I wasn't steering, because had I capsized, his ashes may be, somewhere under a train trestle.
Well, they would have gotten there eventually. All that water goes to the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. So how did your trip go? What was your perspective as you progressed your way down the river?
Well, it was interesting to get to experience America from north to south at 3 miles an hour. And it gave me a chance to meet a lot of people, and I was very impressed by all the kindness that I received along the way from mostly total strangers, who treated me like gold and really went out of their way to help me. Very good. Very neighborly of them.
Now, did your impressions of America change at all from the time you left to the time you finished the trip?
I think so. I think so, because I knew a little bit about some of the different regions and how they would be different and how people's attitudes would be a little bit different. But now I have a better understanding of it, and I have a better understanding of local food, local music as well, and different accents that I heard along the way as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm sure once you got to the south, did you have a hard time, catching up with the people in terms of their communication style?
There were a few times where I really didn't understand if they were speaking English or not, but it turns out they were, and I just needed to ask for clarification, and then I was able to figure out what they were telling me.
Great.
Yeah. But like you say, especially in the south, there was some fairly strong accents there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now?
So I'm a reporter, and I write articles mostly about sports and current events, and I'm also working on a book called Ashes on the Great Water, which is about my canoe trip.
Okay. Any sneak preview of what we can anticipate in the book?
It's a great book. I highly encourage people to read it, not only because it's about canoeing, but it's about the transformation that someone undergoes while they're mourning and while they're honoring somebody's life.
Right.
Yeah.
And what would you say about canoeing? What makes canoeing such a therapeutic activity?
It's a slow-paced activity. It's not as high-paced as a lot of other sports. It's not an extreme sport. So something like that, I think.
I might beg to differ on that, but
and I can understand why you would. Yes, there's certain elements of it that can be extreme.
Right.
But it gives we live busy lives basically. We live very hectic lives.
Absolutely.
And so canoeing it's very therapeutic, and it allows us to become more grounded and slow down from the fast-paced regular life.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, Dominique, and we're going to do one more thing here. We're going to decide from the American perspective and the Canadian perspective, which is the superior country, because clearly one of the two countries is superior. And, so we're going to look at 5 categories to determine what is the superior country. So
have these been predetermined?
Yeah, these are. This is exact science.
Okay,
here,
yes.
To determine.
Not biased in any way.
No, not biased at all. So, so the first category is entertainer. Okay, so on the Canadian side, you've got Justin Bieber, and on the American side, we've got Miley Cyrus. I'm going to go ahead and give the advantage to Miley Cyrus.
Because she's more of a train wreck?
Well, look, can you ever look at a wrecking ball in the same way?
Probably not.
Probably not. So yeah, I give the advantage to America.
All right. But she is older. She's had time to make more of a wreck.
That is true. That is true. And the second category would be inspirational individuals. On the Canadian side, you have Terry Fox.
Sure.
And on the American side, we have Lance Armstrong. So Terry Fox, for those of you that might not be familiar with him, to raise awareness for cancer, he ran across Canada with one leg. He had to have his leg amputated as a result of cancer, and to raise awareness, in 1981, I believe it was.
Yeah, early 80s for sure.
Perhaps 1980. He ran across Canada. Eventually, he succumbed to the disease, but he's certainly an icon in Canada. And of course, we have Lance Armstrong, who won 5 Tour de France's with.
On the juice.
Well, with one testicle too. So
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and give the advantage to America in that category as well, because Lance is from Dallas after all.
Sure. Didn't sacrifice his life for a cause.
No, he did.
Lance wouldn't do that.
He didn't. He didn't. Okay. And then the third category is going to be greatest athlete. On the Canadian side, you've got Wayne Gretzky, and of course on the American side, we've got Tom Brady. Clearly, the advantage goes to Tom Brady here in this category. Wouldn't you agree?
I'll give you that one.
You'll give me that one.
Yeah.
And he's got Giselle. He secured Giselle, but Wayne did produce Pauline. So.
He did, and she's always making him proud, all the time, every day.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then the fourth category is canoeist. On the Canadian side, you have Bill Mason, who is a legendary canoeist. He has movies that he's made about canoeing the Upper Peninsula, or excuse me, the north shore of Lake Superior. And then on the American side, you have me, who has canoed from, well, right now, Twin Bridges to Fort Benton, but on my way to Dallas. So
solid 200 miles on your back.
A solid 200 miles. So. Yeah. So, I don't think Bill Mason ever canoed to Dallas. So
I don't think he did.
So I've got to give myself the advantage there too.
Understandably.
Well. Yeah,
understandably.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Plus, you're making videos.
Plus, I'm making
so
videos.
You're competing with them that way too.
Absolutely. And then finally, the category is generosity. And Dominic, you spent 7 hours of your time to drive down here and visit me, which was extremely generous of you. But you see, here in America, we're the most generous country in America, and literally, to show you our generosity, I'm going to give you the shirt off my back.
Well, now I feel guilty for stealing that $30 from your wallet. Well, thank you very much.
So I'm here to present you with a USA authentic hockey jersey. I was going to have your last name put on, but I wasn't able to do that. So
that's no problem.
I'm sure you will proudly wear this as you
at every Montreal Canadiens game.
At every Montreal Canadiens game.
Well, thank you very much. That is very generous.
Yeah.
That is absolutely very generous.
So, but I still have to give you the edge in this category goes to you for taking that time to drive down here. So thank you so much.
No problem. Really enjoyed our visit, and it was good to come down to Fort Benton and meet another paddler. I got to meet Janet last year here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really worthwhile. Definitely worth it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Dominic, thanks so
again,
much for your time.
Yeah, anytime.
All right.
Anytime, man.
We'll see you.
Thank you.
See you soon.